What's up, everyone? Welcome to the Cracka Crumbs update. Day before comic day. Gonna do some reviews on some comics that I got a chance to read finally. Well, the ones I got yesterday anyway. And wanted to show something real fast. If I can put it together without it looking like crap, but let's see if we can do it here. Harder than it looks. That's what all three covers of the Mid-10 exclusive look like when they're together. Very cool. Alrighty. Got a few new subscribers I want to thank. Titanium Biscuit, thanks for subscribing. 75 BP, I believe is the title there. Thanks for subscribing. And a Comic Book Mom, thanks for subscribing. Appreciate it. Before I go any further, he's backed by popular demand. He's not always on the show because he's a diva and wants his own dressing room, pounds of catnip and pain in the ass. But Kitty, he's back. He's gonna help me a little later on with some books. Right, Kitty? All right. Reviews. Oh yeah. First one I'm gonna review is All New X-Men #3. If you don't want to know what happens in this, there's a spoiler alert. I'm going to tell you about this thing. So, you might want to skip until you see this card again. That's when all the spoilers are over. Anyway, in this book, basically, Cyclops finds his new hideout, I guess. His new facility, where he's going to train mutants. And it happens to be the Weapon X program lab where Wolverine was turned into Wolverine. It's pretty messed up. He basically tells Magneto that it's the last place they'll look is Weapon X. He goes to rescue Emma Frost, which you don't know at the time, but apparently his powers go out of whack, and as you can see, like his optic blasts are pretty much going everywhere. Rings to the left, to the right. Magneto couldn't even take down a simple helicopter, and when they bust out Emma Frost, she says that it's because the Phoenix Force, it messed with your powers, and so on and so forth. And magic apparently is not only not affected negatively like Cyclops and Magneto are and Emma Frost, but she's actually souped up now. Interesting. And then they're looking for all these new mutants are popping up, which is kind of good in a way, I guess, because with comics you can always use I guess new characters. You never know who will be the next kick-ass new character, but it looks like they're going the same way they did back before House of M, where they had all these friggin' mutants that Xavier's and creators was coming up with these random crappy characters that nobody even really cared about, and then they'd wipe them out anyway. But who knows? Towards the end of this, you actually see the old school X-Men, the old Cyclops, face off against the new one. So can't wait to read #4. It's been pretty good. Moving on. I actually do have a few rants to talk about after this, but let's get to the books first. Amazing Spider-Man #699. This is the Spider-Man I know and love, where he doesn't give up. He's actually going to keep on fighting until his last breath. Basically, he figures out when he finally, he realizes he's in Doc Ock's body. He figures if Doc Ock is in his body and knows everything about him, he should know everything about Doc Ock. So he searches his memory and figures out how Dr. Octopus did what he did, and tries to undo it. And he also enlists some supervillains: Hydro Man, the Rhino, Scorpion, the Trapster, and they basically free Spider-Man, who's in Doc Ock's body, from the super prison, the Raft, and then it kind of ends there. So I really can't wait for 700 and see how it's going to go. It's a very, very cool book. I like this storyline a lot, actually. I was kind of pissed because I'm like, they can't do that to Spider-Man. You can't go out like that. But it's still exciting. Now, moving on to, well, the Avengers #1. Kitty, what do you think about Avengers #1? He's very excited. Did you like it? No. Oh. Alright then. Here we go. Yeah, I didn't think it was that great, actually. It just seems like, this is going to be part of the rant later on, but it just seems like Marvel just doesn't really care, and they're just throwing random characters together and say, hey, there's the Avengers. Oh, I know what we'll do. We'll throw random characters together, and then we'll throw them against a cosmic threat. Can't talk today. That'd be cool, but it's just like, been there, done that kind of thing. So I wasn't really impressed by Avengers number 1. Moving on to another part that's going to get into the rant later on, but the new Avengers number 34. This one actually was pretty cool. It was very interesting indeed. Doctor Strange is fighting this other sorcerer, which I think is the brother of Voodoo. And he's getting his ass kicked because the Voodoo guy basically took over all the Avengers' minds and bodies and stuff like that, and is fighting them. So he has to fight them one at a time, and you see them kind of broken up into different things. How he's beating them, and then after the entire battle, basically the Ancient One, who was his teacher, pops up and says, you did a great job. I know you gave us up because you didn't think you were worthy, but you're now the Sorcerer Supreme again. We want you to be the top dog, I guess. And then you see Luke Cage. Basically, he's like, I'm done. This is it. This was the last time. And then he kind of mentions how he might redo Heroes for Hire. So I'm sure they'll bring that book out again. But yeah, it wasn't too bad. That is the end of all the spoilers. All right, now to come into the discussion, which there's going to be some points in here, hopefully, or me just rambling. But it's definitely going to be a DC and Marvel because they're kind of, it's crazy lately. But anyway, let's see if I can get this without rambling too much, but no promises. If you look at Marvel now, here we go. They claim that their main reason they were doing the Marvel Now relaunch kind of thing is because they wanted to eliminate titles that weren't going anywhere, and they wanted to lessen all the titles, and just make it kind of like, I guess, like the old days. You have like one X-Men, you have, say an X-Force, you have an X-Factor, or, you have a Wolverine, one Spider-Man, or something, you know what I mean? Any collector out there knows what I'm talking about. Now, this is what I find pretty damn funny. If you look at comic book companies now, let's use the big two, like I said, Marvel and DC, they really don't seem to give a shit about anybody anymore. It's just basically the bottom dollar. They don't care, really don't care what you think, or I think, or anyone thinks, as long as everyone's buying their books. Now you look at, a good example is X-Men Legacy. Like a month or two ago, they had the final issue, which was number 275. Right? And Marvel was only charging $2.99, which is cool. Not bad. So the way I see it is Marvel's like, hey, you know what? Yeah, we're going to eliminate it. We'll concentrate on core things right there. But, oh, you know what? We're going to get people to buy more books. Let's make another X-Men Legacy, so we'll throw out another number 1. Which wasn't too bad, but at least they kept it at $2.99, so that's a plus. So you got X-Men Legacy that they got rid of and then brought back. Okay. You're like, all right, I see how you're gonna roll there. Then they got rid of the Uncanny X-Men and regular X-Men and all that good stuff, which I'm gonna show. I believe it's in this book here. But they brought out the all-new X-Men, which is, I'm gonna say, is pretty good so far. Congrats, Marvel. Now, what I find funny, this is what I'm saying, this is where they don't seem to really care, and they're not really going, I guess, their way that they wanted to go. You got the X-Men, right? Months ago, whatever it is, you had the X-Force, well, back in the day, you had X-Force with Cable, so now they're bringing back Cable's X-Force, which has Cable, Colossus, Forge, whatever. Okay, fine, you got X-Men, you got X-Force. Okay. So what does Marvel go and do? Oh, I know. Let's make another X-Force. So now they have the Uncanny X-Force, which comes out in January. So rather than eliminate titles, they're bringing back titles. Then the same thing with the Avengers. They say, hey, you know what? We're going to end the Avengers and we're going to bring them back with number 1, and that'll be that. So what do? Now they announce the new Avengers number 1. Now, same thing with Spider-Man. They're claiming that Amazing Spider-Man is done after 700. There is no more Amazing Spider-Mans. So everyone's like, all right, cool, I see how they're going to do it. But they're charging $8, which I'm still a little pissed about. But everyone keeps saying, it's a giant size issue. It's got a lot of stuff, It's worth it. Okay, I'm going to get to that in a second. So now they're introducing Superior Spider-Man, which comes out, I don't know if a week after, the same day, or whatever, a month later, whatever. from what I hear from Marvel, is they're claiming that if Superior Spider-Man bombs, they're going to bring back Amazing Spider-Man with number one in February or March or whatever. So once again, Marvel claims that they're lowering, getting rid of all their nonsense titles. Yet here they go again. They got a new Avengers, regular Avengers, Uncanny Avengers, all new X-Men, Cable's X-Force, Uncanny X-Force, X-Men Legacy. It's Superior Spider-Man, maybe Amazing Spider-Man down the line. The Indestructible Hulk. Now they're claiming they're going to bring back another Hulk. You have Iron Man. Okay, fine. You try to keep it, one title or something like that. At least give us a little bit of a break. But oh no, Marvel's bringing back every freaking thing they claimed they weren't going to bring back because of the almighty dollar. They figure the Avengers hit, the X-Men did really well, so they're going to plaster the hell out of the X-Men and Avengers everywhere, which came into a rant, I had a couple of episodes ago where it was like, they're just saturating certain characters everywhere. Like Wolverine's on every friggin' team. Spider-Man is everywhere now. The Avengers are everywhere. And it's insane. Now, brings me also into the price thing. Like, you look at a Amazing Spider-Man 700, it's $8. And I was like, you're getting a lot. Then you look at the new Avengers, this is $4.99. Granted, this actually is a pretty thick book, so I guess you really can't complain too much. But you're still spending $5 on a book that's about maybe 3 or 4 pages longer than a regular comic. Little insane. So like I said, Marvel, it's amazing how they claim the whole point of their stuff was, we're going to get rid of titles. We're going to make better stories and better artwork and some core titles. But now let's saturate the hell out of it. Moving on to DC. I was watching Captain Cummings' video, Howler Mouse, and I was reading about Gail Simone apparently getting fired by email from DC, which is pretty messed up. Because I like her work. I think she's pretty cool. I'm actually going to join Captain Cummings there and ban DC. Granted, I had already ordered a couple Batmans before I knew about this stuff, so you can't really get me on that. But yeah, that's pretty messed up. That is just wrong in a lot of ways. But again, just like with a Mark Time, it's all about the bottom dollar. It's all about how much money they can make. And when my show, people were watching it. Even one of the workers told the owner, "This is what's going on. Hey, we're losing a lot of money. A lot of people watching his show. I guess he has a lot of friends that shop here. They don't shop here anymore. Because I know a lot of my friends stopped going on my time when I was telling them what was going on, and then it kind of spread, and then they realized that it was the truth. Not that I'm gonna lie. And Mark Time was losing, a small fortune here and there. So then they decided to change. Like, oh hey, maybe it's a stupid idea to do this. So again, say that Marvel, they're gonna keep doing what they're gonna do because they keep getting the money coming in. And with DC, just messed up, flat out messed up. Me personally, I've had similar things. I mean, I've had it where I was on my way to a job, taking the train, long ass train ride, and I got a phone call while I'm on the train. Nobody said anything to me the day before. I'm on the train, I'm almost at work, and oh hey, guess what? You're fired. Have a nice day. Click. Really? I've had ones where I was taken off the schedule, and I talked to my boss like, hey, what's going on? I'm on the schedule. Oh, we're downsizing a little bit, but you'll be on next week. Next week would come around, I wouldn't be on the schedule. Be like, hey, what's going on? I thought I was gonna be on. Oh, we're still working out the hours. Definitely next week. I'm really sorry. Blah blah blah. Next week come around, still not on the list, and I'd be like, hey, what the hell? Oh yeah, I know. We're working on it. Work on it. I had it where I was out of work for like a month and a half, and my job kept BSing me. Oh, yeah, we're working on the hours. We're really sorry. We're trying to figure this out. We had a huge problem with whatever it is, and I couldn't collect unemployment because technically I wasn't fired and I didn't quit. So they were sneaky like that. They got me where I couldn't collect any unemployment. Then of course it's the jobs are still hard to find. So I was trying to find work while I'm waiting on this job. Couldn't find anything until finally the job. I said to them, I was like, this is ridiculous. You guys either going to put me on the thing. Oh, we let you go, months ago. I thought they told you. Amazing. So I know how it is. They're pricks. I was reading, which is kind of funny, that they claim that nowadays bosses will fire you by email or phone call because they don't want you to come to the store or fire you in the store and have you cause a scene and destroy product or whatever it is, which, 90% of the time, well, actually 98% of the time, that doesn't happen. People just like, that's blows, and they walk out. Because you'd rather keep the reference or try to get a reference. And they also claim that managers and owners do this now because they don't want to deal with seeing the person, how they affects them, and because it's like it causes them a higher rate of suicide. So you know what, DC, like I said, I've pretty much had it with DC and Marvel with just their greediness, and DC, that was kind of a messed up thing to do. Like I said, I liked Gail Simone's work, very very cool stuff, and DC can kiss my ass. So I'm gonna be joining the boycott of DC until they do some kind of resolving, and who knows, maybe I won't even get anything ever again. Um, and Marvel, like I said, it all comes down to the bottom dollar. When you hurt their wallet, that's when they finally pay attention to you and they go, oh hey, oh my god, hey, what can we do for you? Once you start taking away their money, they're all ears. So that's pretty much what you got to do. You got to pretty much stop buying their stuff, and they'll, like I said, with this, you look at Marvel. All the Marvel Now #1s are $3.99, and the series are $3.99, whereas some of them are pretty good. Like I said, Deadpool has stayed at $2.99 so far. X-Men Legacy stayed at $2.99. So who knows? But it's just a bunch of BS. They're going to keep on raising the prices, and now they're, like I said, they're claiming they're not going to throw out all these titles, yet they're friggin' bombarding you with them. Whatever. This has been a long enough rant as it is. So, go away, kitty. I can't afford you. Anyway, if you like what you see, please hit the little like button. If you really like what you see, please hit the subscribe button. And it's not the size of your man cave that matters. It's what you have in it.